Welcome to a new episode of The Good Talk. Today I'm here with Ariana Molina.
Yes.
Thanks for coming to the studio. What do you think of the studio, Ariana?
It's so beautiful. It's so I love the greenery. I love everything about it. Like the colors. It's amazing.
Thanks. So I want to know a little bit more about you. You're a producer?
Yes, I am.
Okay, tell us a little bit more about you and what you do and what got you into producing.
Yeah, of course. So I'm a film student right now. I go to a small private Christian university named Biola University. And I am a junior right now. So I've been studying film for about 3 years. And the reason why I got into producing was kind of a long story, but to make it short, it started during COVID. I was a junior in high school, and I just had like so much free time on my hands, and I just started reading more, and I fell in love with stories and people's stories and wanting to be like a tool in helping people tell their own stories.
So you wanted to be a producer since you were like a kid? Or when did you decide this?
This was like senior year when you're supposed to already knowing what career you're supposed to be getting in.
Oh, so you're from LA?
I am from LA.
Okay, so you're from Los Angeles.
Yes.
Wow, we don't have a lot of people on this podcast from LA. So I feel like LA natives are now like the unicorns around here.
Yeah, I'm an LA native.
Okay, and then you decided to go to film school.
I did.
So what made you want to go to film school?
I wanted to go to film school, because it was actually a really big jump for me, because knowing a lot of film students, they're like, I want to be a film student ever since I was 4 years old. But me, it started when I was like 18 and I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I always wanted to be a lawyer.
Oh my God.
So imagine like knowing you want to be a lawyer to changing to film student. It was really a big jump and so scary. But honestly, it was like, I just had to have faith in me and like faith in what I wanted to do.
But what was that trigger that made you be like, okay, I'm going to go into film school and I want to be a producer to produce films?
That trigger, honestly, just reading stories. Like I love reading. And then just hearing more about like my grandma, she used to tell stories to me when I was younger, to my siblings and I, and she's from Guatemala. She traveled here by herself actually. And then her husband came about like 4 years later. But she would always tell us stories about her traveling to United States, and I don't know, I just held on to that for those years. And at that moment during COVID, when I was supposed to know what I wanted to do and actually didn't, I kind of just held on to those memories and was like, hey, this is what I kind of like want to jump into.
So you want to be a storyteller, basically?
I do, yes.
You like storytelling?
Yes, I love telling other people's stories.
Telling other people's stories.
Not just mine, but other people's stories, like in being a helping hand, and especially for those people or people who are struggling right now, like in other parts of the world who are voices are being taken away from them. I want to step up and tell their stories.
So have you ever thought of maybe becoming like a screenwriter or just like a writer, since you love telling stories?
I actually have tried screenwriting. I'm not that great at it, but I actually do love it. So it is a hobby of mine, but I just never saw myself, like sitting in a writing stories for a career.
So what do you love about producing films? Like, what is it that makes you want to be a producer?
So producing, I just think it's such a unique role because you're able to see it from beginning to end. So like from pre-production to production, you kind of have a role and like a say in each stage of the production. So that's kind of what I like. And I love just seeing how I'm basically overseeing like each department and able to see how from step one to like the finished product, how everybody thrived in each their department, and like guiding everybody. That's a lot of things. And then being organized and helping other people being organized in their own departments. That's what I love about producing. Yeah,
producing is a big thing. Like there's a lot that goes into producing films, and you have to oversee a lot of people. Is that what you like? Just overseeing the whole project and basically gathering everybody, guiding everybody, helping everybody because I feel like for like editing, or like let's say editing or screenwriting, like they write a story, a screenwriter writes a story, but then their role kind of ends like once the production starts. But to be able to be a producer and help that screenwriter, like, okay, like let me help your vision get through from pre-production to post-production. Like I want to help that person see their vision through. And you work with the director, you work with the actors, you work with everyone, right?
Yes.
And are you on set for let's say for a project? Are you on set the entire time?
I like to be. I do. I like to sit from the back and see how all the paperwork and everything that I've signed is coming into life. But yeah, I do like being on set.
And have you ever thought of like directing or doing another form of role?
I have. I actually directed my own short film, and it was super fun. But I don't know. It's a lot of power, and it's like being a director and guiding everybody. It's definitely a big role to fill your shoes in. But that's why I like producing. I just like am in the shoulder of the director, and then also a friend to every department around.
Yeah. And you go into film school. Like I went to film school a long time ago, back in 2009. And I personally don't think now in today's day that people need to go to film school to do this type of work.
Yeah.
What do you think of that? Like you're in film school now, right?
Yes.
2024.
Yeah.
Do you think it's necessary for, people that are in high school right now to go to film school to be a producer, director, or just get into the film industry in general?
I think it definitely has a lot to do with where you start. So a lot of people have connections, like, oh, I've had some friends who are like, oh, my father works with Netflix. I'm like, oh my God, you could literally get in the industry. Like, why are you here in school? But I think a big thing is that where I talk with my classmates is like a big thing is about networking and making relationships in classmates. And because for film classes, most of the things you do, like assignments, are short films, like finals are short films. We work on a lot of assignments together. And so building that connections that you're able to have like for the rest of your life, I think that's something that people who don't go to film school kind of miss out on. But that's what I really like, is just having relationships and connections.
I can't agree with you more. That is definitely the best thing I got at film school. Like the people I met, the projects I worked on.
Yeah.
Because people that are there are because they want to be
Right.
there and they want to film stuff, right? So yeah, building connections and just working on cool projects. And
Yes.
everyone's so passionate because they're there to be in film, right?
Exactly.
But still, I still don't think you should waste your money.
No, yeah. I mean, I think it's unique to every person. I mean, like if you feel like you can do it on your own, also it comes with a lot of discipline. Like people like learn from YouTube, but that's a discipline you need to have. Like you need to wake up and want to watch YouTube for hours every day. And if you don't have that, like going to class and having people around you to encourage you, like that's somewhere where you can choose your own path.
So how many years have you been in school now?
I've been in school for 3 years now.
3 years?
Yes.
Okay. So how long is this career? What's your I guess.
My program?
Yeah.
The program lasts for 4 years. So I have 1 year left.
And you're going to get a bachelor's or
bachelor's degree.
Bachelor's in what?
In production. But
Bachelor's in production. And what is like school like? Is it hands-on or is it very kind of theory based?
Well, the classes. So when you first enroll into the CMA program at Biola University, they have you choose an emphasis. And so what I chose was production. So I kind of get a little bit of classes of like in each department. So I've taken some screenwriting classes. I've taken a directing class. I've taken a sound class. So I'm able to know a little bit about each department. So I think that's also helped me choose to want to be a producer, because I know a little bit about each department, but I'm not too comfortable in being like, okay, this is where I want to be. I kind of want to be like everywhere.
And what about like cinematography and like photography, editing and post-production? You like all that stuff?
I have an interest for it, but I just don't think I would want to do it for the rest of my life.
No?
No.
So you're not really interested in photography or like being behind the camera?
I do photography on my own time, like a little hobby. But that's just something I do in my pastime. But I have a lot of honor for people who do that, who want to do like editing and all that, because it takes a lot of work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, producing, you just get to plan everything, right?
Yeah.
And then watch everyone work.
Yeah.
Which is also a hard thing to do. And you need a team when you're a producer, right?
Yeah.
You need to be able to build a team, and not just a team, but like the right team, right?
Exactly.
The right people to work on whatever project you're working on. So that's a tough job to have.
Yeah.
Is there anyone that inspires you to be a producer that you look up to?
As far as like within the industry?
Just anyone, yeah.
I don't have anyone like in specific, like somebody like an idol that I look up to, but honestly, just my family, they keep me going, and like my peers at school encourage me a lot. But as far as like an idol, I don't really have one.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what kind of films do you like watching?
Oh, on my free time, I like watching suspense, thriller. But films that I want to do personally are more like nonfiction, like documentary work and telling people stories, like through missionary work too, something that I've kind of been growing into or like looking into for my future.
Nice. And let's talk about some of the cool roles in film, right?
Yeah.
What do you think are some of the cool roles? Like, let's say you have a project, right, that you're working on with some friends.
Yeah.
What is the one role that everyone wants to do?
The director.
Why do you think everyone wants to be the director?
I think people want to be in charge. They want to tell people what to do. They want to have control of the story. Because at the end of the day, it's the director's decision, right? So I think having that power leads a lot of people to want to do that.
What do you think is the second best like role that people want to do?
DP.
The DP?
Yeah.
Yeah.
DP.
They want to be behind the camera and make it look good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what kind of projects have you worked on? I mean, you're so young and you're still in school. What are some of the projects that you've been on?
So recently I worked on a project with my dear friend Noah Wolf, who has been on your podcast.
Yeah, she was here. She was on the last podcast.
Yes.
So how do you guys know each other?
So I know her because she acted actually in a short film that I produced, which is called Halfway. And it's basically a short story about two cultural enemies and wanting to reconcile, and just a short story of how we can use that within our lives and with our personal connections and relationships. And it's just like a strong moral to have that we wanted to show other people. Yeah.
And can you talk a little bit about the process of that film and producing that film?
Yeah.
Like from start?
Yeah. So basically, it all started within a class. So we have at Biola, they have a Biola film, which is basically one of the ending classes towards when you get your degree. And basically the CMA program, they give you a budget and they have like a fundraising competition. So people submit their scripts. And so my dear friend Marcus Casu, who is the director of Halfway, he submitted his script and he actually won the competition. And then they have a class where from beginning of the semester to the end, you make the full film.
So this is a school thing?
Yes.
Okay, so the school funds this?
The school funds it, yes.
Interesting. That's really cool.
Yeah.
So the school funds this project and it gets the students involved.
Yes.
And
so people who are enrolled in the class each get to choose their role in the film.
And do the professors like have a say in this?
The professor is basically just sitting back and watching and letting everybody, figure it out.
So he's like the executive producer.
Exactly.
He's like putting the money.
That's the credit he got actually.
Yeah. Okay. So he just kind of sits back and just kind of like, all right, this is your budget.
No, yeah.
And you guys figure it out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And how many producers are in this film?
Just me.
Just one producer?
Just one producer.
Okay. So this is a short film. How short is this?
It's about 12 minutes.
Okay. 12-minute short
12
film.
minutes. And we worked about over 6 months on it.
Wow.
Yeah.
6 months.
Yeah.
So this short film has everything, like a full production crew, basically.
Yes. So it has, cast crew. It has from pre-production to post-production and like gaffers, lighting people, editing, sound. Everybody was able to choose the department they want to be in. And then if people don't want to choose like a specific role, I would have people like outside of the class or connections that I know who wanted to work on the film too.
So you have a casting director?
Yes. Well, actually, in this short film, it was me and the director. We didn't have a casting director.
Okay.
But yeah.
So there's multiple people like kind of wearing different hats.
Yeah, exactly.
Just because it's like obviously it's not like a huge thing.
Exactly.
So you were also the casting. So what other roles did you play?
It's funny. I actually did Crafty too.
Okay.
For one day. Just mainly producing. I also helped do the premiere for the film. So I was kind of in a role of that. That was actually really cool to, see from beginning to end. But mostly for this short film, I just kind of just produced and helped the director with anything he needed.
Okay.
Yeah.
And as far as like casting, how does that process go? How do you cast people? This is like a short film, with like from the school, they're funding it.
Yeah.
So how does casting work?
So Backstage is your friend. We use Backstage, and that's actually how we found Noah.
What's Backstage?
Backstage is like an online website that a lot of actresses and actors, they sign up. And you also can, if you're a producer or you're a director, you can put up your own project and then you can make connections on there and then email people who are interested in your film or reach out to people.
And that's how you find
That's
people?
how I found Noah, yeah.
So how many actors are in this film?
Right now, so we had about, like in main cast, we had a lot of extras, but main cast, we had about 5.
Okay, so five main people in the film. And the funding you guys get, do you guys pay these actors?
We didn't for this film, no.
Okay, so the money and the funding that goes into the film, it goes just into the production, basically.
Into the production,
And like, what kind of production do you guys like cameras, or is that already included?
Well, for our school, we're so blessed to have a lot of equipment there that we can rent and use. But also, it's mostly like locations was a big thing. Traveling, we had a lot of locations, so we had to reimburse a lot of people for like gas and everything. Food, crafty for each day. We also did pay like a couple people for like visual people or like editing. They did get paid for that. Like people who was brought on to the project.
So these editors weren't part of school?
So we did have editors in class, but we also had other people who were like graduates and wanted to help.
Oh, I see.
So yeah, so we were like, okay, if you want to help, or we asked them and we were like, we can pay for this role. You know, they have other things to do. This is not
right.
For us. It was more of like a class thing. So this is kind of like you need to do.
So how many people that are involved are part of the school, and how many people are not part of the school?
So in the class, it was about 25 people, and then our whole cast and crew was about 50 people.
Wow, so it's like 50-50. So if 25 people are like part of the school, they're all involved, and then the other like 25 people are just other people that are involved outside of the school that are graduates, actors, and other people that are just helping out.
Exactly.
That's a big crew.
Yeah, it is.
50 people and you said 6 months.
Yeah.
This has been 6 months project.
Yeah.
Like how many shooting days do you guys have?
We had 4 shooting days.
4 shooting days. Wow. Yeah. And are those like 4 days, or how long are those days?
We had 2 half days and 2 full days. And then it was back to back 4 days.
And did you have to go back and do any reshoots or anything like that?
Well, thankfully, no.
No?
But, yeah.
You got it all?
Yeah, it was 6 months and preparing was good. But no, we didn't have to do any. We did have to do ADR, but that was mostly the most of it that we had to go back and rechange things.
Yeah. Wow. So then this halfway film, where did it like premiere? Where does it go after it's done?
Yeah, so our school also allows us to do a premiere on campus, and we had about 400 people RSVP and show up. So it was a big thing and a big honor to be a part of. And then we're able to choose if we want to do film festivals, which is the route that we're taking it on. So right now we're kind of not posting it on YouTube. We have a trailer, but we haven't posted it anywhere because we want to submit it to film festivals and see where it goes from there.
And where's the trailer? Is it just on YouTube?
The trailer's on our account. So we actually have an Instagram account named halfway_film. And so you'll find it there.
So you guys have an Instagram account called Halfway, and that's for the short film. And you guys just post the whole process there?
Yeah. So we posted some pictures from shoot. We posted some pictures of the crew, some reels actually. We made some reels when we were in class, all working together. So every week, every Wednesday, we met for 6 hours from 10:30 to 4:30. Everybody who was enrolled in class was working on it.
So these are long hours. Yeah. But it's just for school credit, right?
I mean, it was for school credit, but you can put in your reel. So
yeah. So this is something you can use for, obviously
future,
for when you graduate.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So how many more years you got left?
I have one more year.
One more year.
Yeah.
And this is the first project that you've worked on like this?
First a big one. I've done like small friend groups where it's like the crew is like 4 people, but this was like one of the biggest films that I've worked on, over 50 people for a crew, and then having to, guide everybody. So it was a big jump, but I'm so happy that I did it. Yeah.
Have you ever done any 48-hour film festivals? Because when I was in film school, we would do those a lot. There was film festivals that we would join, and it was 48 hours. So it was a 48-hour turnaround.
Wow.
So you go and they give you 3 things that would have to be in the film, like a line or like a theme and something else. But they would give you 48 hours to turn this film around. Have you ever done anything like that?
I haven't, but that sounds so interesting. I want to do that.
Yeah, I mean, you should look them up. Maybe Google, see if there's any film festivals, 48-hour film stuff.
That's
They're
so
fun because
cool.
it like pushes you, and you know you have to turn this thing around within that time.
Wow, that's amazing. How many projects have you done 48 hours?
We did I think we did like 3 or 4.
Nice.
Yeah, I think there was one that we did was like a 24-hour film festival.
Wow.
Yeah, so these are like crazy. I would stick because I was the editor in most of these. So we would like write the script within like that same day, and then have the script ready by like night, right, for the next day.
So you're even talking about pre-production.
Yeah.
Wow. I thought you just meant like, okay, we're gonna start shooting.
No, because you don't know, because they give you like 3 things that you have to like kind of put in the film.
Wow.
So you have to write it as soon as the festival. They tell you all the stuff that needs to be in the film. Then you start writing the script, like planning it out.
That's amazing. That sounds so cool.
It's crazy.
I'm gonna go home and look into that.
Look into it, yeah. But yeah, it's cool. It's a cool experience to have.
Yeah.
But yeah, within 48 hours, you write this film. You get your actors and your whole crew, basically, right?
Yeah.
And locations, everything.
Oh my gosh.
Like they're not like the best films because like it's such a quick turnaround. But it's a fun thing to do. It definitely pushes
you. I mean,
I would stay up editing for like all night, basically. Because like we would shoot one day.
Yeah.
And then I would start editing, and I would edit all night, basically, till the morning. And then like in the morning, I'd be like, oh man.
No sleep.
No sleep.
Team no sleep. Team no sleep.
Nope. There's no sleep. Wow. I mean, you know, I didn't care. I was in college. I was like 22 years old. I was like, whatever. I don't care about sleep, right? I was editing all night. And then we were like, in the morning, we would like review it and make sure we got everything.
And then you submit it.
And then we would submit it by like 6 p.m.
Wow.
So we had to export it and then there was like a premiere for all the films, all the people that like entered.
That sounds like so much stress, but so much fun.
It's very stressful, but it's fun. Yeah, and it gives you a lot of experience to just like do quick turnarounds.
Are you able to like, connect or like choose the people you want to work with? Or
of course, yeah. You get, you choose your own team.
Okay.
You basically kind of have to go in there with a team already.
Oh, okay.
Like you kind of have to like be like have
Imagine
already
you're
a crew.
like they're put you with people you don't know.
No,
48 hours.
Yeah, man, that'd be way tougher.
Yeah.
But no, you basically have to go in there with a crew already. You kind of already have to like be pre-planned and also kind of have an idea of like what the story's going to be and like kind of already have that plan, right?
Yeah.
Who's going to be the director? Who's going to be acting in it? Who's going to be like editing it? Like
Did
all
everybody
that.
want to be the director?
No, this is more like kind of like, because it's like your close friends. So kind of already have like our set roles.
I see.
So it wasn't like that. Like, everyone wants to direct.
Yeah.
Because these weren't like big, crews either. Yeah, but yeah, you should definitely look into that.
That sounds fun.
But what other films have you worked on?
So right now I'm working on a short film, or it's actually a sequel. It's called Pizza Boy. And I wasn't part of the first one, but I am part of the second one. So it's called Pizza Boy 2. And it's actually, it's going to be premiering in December 24th.
So it's done.
No, it's not done, but we want it to be done by Christmas. It's a Christmas edition, and it's about a short story about a young pizza boy who's, it's actually a big jump for me because, going from Halfway to Pizza Boy is a comedy genre. So, and then Halfway is like a serious topic. So producing, a serious topic to like a comedy drama and being surrounded by people who always joke 24/7, it's actually like a big jump, and so interesting to see how I need to like practice, working with different people and different genres. But the short story is about a young pizza boy, and he's on the quest to find Santa Claus. And so it's a fun little short story that me and my friends are working on.
How short is this going to be?
It's about 10 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
10 minutes. And is there another one that you're working on or have future plans?
Future plans, not right now, but that's the main one that I've been working on, and then just focusing on Halfway and film festivals right now.
So wait, going back to Halfway, that one's done.
That one's done, yes.
And it's just going through film festivals right now?
Yes, and then Pizza Boy 2 is in pre-production.
Pre-production, yeah. Okay, so that one still has a ways to go.
Yes, but Halfway is done. So right now we're just doing film festivals, and then Noah and I are actually talking to a woman named Sharon, who is an executive director for Empower Women, who came up to us about Halfway and is interested in working with us.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So how do you network to get like these people and like get other people involved with projects, like personal projects that you want to work with?
Yeah. Like networking with other people?
Yeah. Like, do you go to like networking events or just like
I'm trying
premieres?
To. I'm trying to go more out there to like, actually got invited to a women's rights premiere where I was able to connect with a little bit of people there, and then just putting yourself out and pushing yourself out there. Yeah.
Do you use social media to do that stuff?
I kind of. I don't have a big social media platform, but I kind of do. Like, I'm realizing how important it is, and so I'm trying to grow more on that. Like posting more and making just, even if it's silly, like just posting little things, you know, and being consistent in that.
Yeah. So you said Halfways is more of a serious film, and Pizza Boy is more of a comedy. Mm-hmm. Which one do you gravitate towards more, like serious or comedy?
Serious, just because that's the reason why I got into film, just telling people stories. And, you know, there's like I think comedy is so funny too, and you're able to connect to the audience. You know, people love laughing, you know, entertainment. That's why they go to movie theaters. But for me, it's mostly more about, you know, the moral of it, and like the what's the theme, and what's the takeaway, what do you want your audience to take away from your short film. So that's why I kind of lean more towards that.
Yeah. And what are some of your goals? Like, let's say once you're done with school, right?
Yeah.
Like, what are some films that you would love to produce? What kind of films? Like big budget films?
Big budget films. Wow. I kind of always wanted to do a true story film. You know, when you go to movie theaters and it's based on a true story, I want to produce something like that.
So based on a true story, not like a documentary.
No. Well, I also do really like documentaries.
You do?
I do. I'm interested in doing some missionary work after college and traveling and documenting, but then coming back and being able to work with a production company or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, thanks for coming to this podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. And so what's your Instagram? Do you want to plug anything?
Sure. So my Instagram is Molina Ariana. So it's Molina Ariana, and then has 2 A's in the middle.
All right. Well, we're looking forward to seeing some of your films.
Thank you.
Hopefully in theaters, right?
Thank you. Yeah. Hopefully.
Yeah. Is that the goal?
That's the goal.
To get into theaters?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm sure you'll get there.
Thank you.
But thanks for coming.
Thank you for having me.
I'm so happy to have you here.
Thank you.
Follow us on Instagram and make sure to subscribe to my podcast, my new podcast, The Good Talk. And I'll see you guys on the next one.
Thank you.